ticket for street sweeping? How much is the city making off those? Details in a live report.
A new way to fight and manage fires. Coming up, I'll show you this video wall at Calfire that's just one of 4 in the state.
The city of Chula Vista decides if it should declare a state of emergency over ongoing pollution in the Tijuana River Valley.
It's been years, and you figure at some point, can't we just get this thing done?
Frustrations over bad and broken streetlights across the city of San Diego. We are working to get answers to the problem.
Wouldn't it be nice if you could just tap dance your way through life and win a gold medal? The California Tap Company.
CBS 8 News Live at 6 starts right now.
We begin tonight with new data that finds the most common parking ticket in the city of San Diego is connected to street sweeping. And those tickets filled the city's coffers to the tune of $5.5 million last year alone. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Carlo Cicchetto.
I'm Marcella Lee. This year, the city of San Diego has issued almost 80,000 tickets related to street sweeping, totaling $4 million in fines. And as CBS 8's Kirsten Holmes found out, Mission Beach sees the most tickets. That is where Kirsten joins us live with what she's uncovered. Kirsten?
Yeah, I'm here in the 3000 block of Mission Boulevard because this is where most of the city's street sweeping parking citations are issued. Now, I want you to take a look at this sign right here beside me that has the days and the times that you can and cannot park for street sweeping. But the city says people are still leaving their cars in this area anyway, earning them millions of dollars.
It's one of those things. If it's posted, you can read it. That's the very definition of a scofflaw, right? Just ignoring things that are posted.
Lars Johansson says if you think parking enforcement for street sweeping is bad in San Diego, he has personal experience in another big city.
You learn through experience. I got towed once in the city of Chicago where it clearly said no parking, tow zone. And you know, I was new to Chicago at the time, and I said, oh no, they towed me. It took like 15 minutes, and that was a $120 lesson, and I'll never do that again.
CBS 8 took a look at parking tickets for street sweeping from January to September 30th of 2024. The most citations came from the 3000 blocks of Mission Boulevard. The tickets dropped significantly in the 4000 block and aren't nearly as high as in the blocks before. But why? Could it be that this is closest to the beach? Alina lives nearby and says she's been ticketed more than once.
I just simply forgot. I got it the day before. I avoided the Wednesday side, but then totally forgot about Thursday. Late at night, you're getting home, it's dark. Sometimes it's hard to see the signs too, so you kind of forget a little bit.
But at $52.50 per ticket, the fines have resulted in more than $4 million for the city's revenue in parking tickets for street sweeping alone this year. Street sweeping violations are the highest single parking infraction this year. And you have to be careful because the times and days, they vary depending on where you are or where you park.
I don't mind the street sweeping. I just, wish the tickets were a little bit cheaper if that is, or there was a different way of giving us a heads up ahead of time.
We reached out to the city of San Diego, who says they make sure that the signs are legible and free from obstructions that could impede visibility. So expect a ticket if you're caught parking between street sweeping times, or like Lars says,
live it and love it or leave it, right?
This is a live look at one of those street sweeping signs. Again, we reached out to the city of San Diego for comment on this story, and they tell us that not only do they work to make sure everyone can see the signs, in places across the city where there is low compliance, the stormwater team comes out and conducts additional outreach because all of that trash clogs up our drains, leaving areas that are not street swept properly. Yeah, they're going to be flooded if that doesn't happen. Reporting for CBS 8, I'm Kirsten Holmes. Back to you.
Thanks, Kirsten. And tonight, the city of San Diego started to paint some curbs red to prepare for a new law that's about to go into effect.
This law concerns something called daylighting, which is the idea of opening up intersections by eliminating blind spots. The new law, AB 413, makes it illegal for cars to park within 20 feet of corners. This is designed to reduce the risk of injuries by making it easier for drivers to see pedestrians, cyclists, or other cars who, without the law, might be hidden by parked vehicles.
Under the California state law, enforcement can begin January 1st, 2025. But in order to continue to educate those that are within the city of San Diego, we will be issuing warnings for the first 60 days.
The city advises that you can still be ticketed even if the curb isn't painted red. So again, remember that 20 feet distance. The city council still has to approve the fine, but it is expected to be $65.
Despite efforts to improve safety for pedestrians and cyclists in San Diego, the number of deaths is higher now than it was a decade ago. A new report from Circulate San Diego shows 10 years ago we had 25 deaths of pedestrians or cyclists. Since 2021, the number has hovered right around 35. Study authors note it could be attributed to a number of factors: drivers distracted by phones, and cars are also bigger and faster these days. Circulate San Diego says the city has made big strides in its safety plan to reduce deaths, but more needs to be done, and it needs to be done faster.
We need to redouble our efforts. When we make these great plans and things get worse, people start to lose confidence in our good intentions. We can't wait 10 years for traffic safety.
City of San Diego makes it clear it has invested millions to make our streets safer for pedestrians and says it will continue to make it a priority.
Right now, the Chula Vista City Council is voting on whether to declare a state of emergency over the Tijuana sewage crisis. If passed, this will allow city officials to work with other local, federal, and Mexican authorities to improve conditions in the Tijuana River Valley. Last month, the San Diego City Council voted in favor of pushing to federal government to declare a national state of emergency over the pollution crisis. The Chula Vista meeting started about an hour ago, and we will update you once we know the results of the vote. Tonight, Calfire is showing off its latest tool in helping manage wildfires.
It's a video wall, and it's one of just 4 in the entire state. CBS 8's Shannon Handy shows us how it works and why it demonstrates a new commitment to using technology to fight fires.
Technology has changed every facet of our lives. This video wall is an example of that. It helps Calfire better manage and communicate during a fire and ultimately keep everyone safe.
When the garden fire broke out in Fallbrook Friday afternoon, crews responded by air and on the ground. Their orders came from this dispatch center miles away.
What camera did you say?
It's standard practice during a firefight, except this time they had an extra tool.
A picture is worth 1,000 words. This gives us a lot of pictures, so we get a lot of information up there really quickly.
This video wall was just installed as part of a partnership with UC San Diego's Alert California. Using it, Suzanne Leininger can display live camera feeds and maps of active fires as well as weather conditions. While much of that technology has been around for years, this allows all of it to be accessible and visible in one place, making it easier to communicate during a critical incident.
People aren't going out there blind as they used to. We can give them information about what's going on before they even get on scene. In the past, when they went out to an incident, they did not know what was going on unless they could see it from a distance. And then they wouldn't get more information until they got closer out there.
Suzanne can also create a fire simulation which estimates the intensity, the risk of it taking off, accessibility, the amount of people and buildings that are going to be impacted, as well as how dry the vegetation is. Here's the one she did Friday for the garden fire. It allowed crews to better assess their attack.
And it's really a tool to give them better situational awareness.
We saw Suzanne jump into action during our interview when smoke was spotted near the Mexico border.
Let me see if I got any kind of warning.
Zachary Wells works for Kern County Fire and represents Alert California. He admits the fire service has been slow to adopt technology, so it's time they started using something like this.
Well, the video wall is something that we've seen in other industries, and we're just bringing it to the fire service.
Statewide, there are 4 video walls. As for cameras they have access to, Alert California has more than 1,100 positioned all over California, 50 of which are in San Diego County.
With all these video feeds, you can see how it would be easy to get overwhelmed on a phone or a tablet or desktop. You can show all 50 cameras and then focus during a specific incident.
Cameras are being added daily in hopes more video walls will be installed in dispatch centers everywhere.
It's about keeping everybody safer.
Shannon Handy, CBS 8.
Thanks, Shannon. We are learning tonight that a middle school student has been arrested accused of threatening to commit a school shooting at Bonita Vista Middle School. Chula Vista police say they got an anonymous tip this morning. They say after reviewing messages that were posted online, officers arrested the student at the student's home before the school day began. Police say no firearms were found during the investigation. 2 people were hospitalized after a car crashed into a home in El Cajon overnight. You see what happened right there. It happened on Hamishaw Road just after 2 o'clock this morning. The injured people were inside the home at the time of the crash, but we don't know the extent of their injuries just yet. First responders tell us the driver appeared to be unharmed. Officials are now investigating to find out what led up to the crash.
Sharp Healthcare has struck a tentative agreement on a new contract with the union representing thousands of frontline healthcare workers. The deal comes days after union members overwhelmingly voted to authorize a 5-day strike. The agreement includes new wage scales, reduced premiums for family medical coverage, and a new committee that will focus on retirement benefits. Union members will vote on ratifying that deal next week. New details in a legal fight between UCLA and the Department of Veterans Affairs still ahead.
Plus, frustrations over bad and broken streetlights across the city of San Diego. We're working to get answers to the problems.
And Ventura County's fire chief defends his crew's actions during the mountain fire after homeowners reported seeing firefighters leaving neighborhoods engulfed in flames.
For our temperatures today, we were a little below seasonal. That's because we had a storm system that swept through last night, knocked temperatures down slightly, but they're going to go right back up again by tomorrow. Just how much? All those details are ahead.